Welcome back to our final segment. This is the point where we get to discuss policy, where we get to bring, of course, on board stakeholders in our economy and discuss matters that do affect business here in Uganda, and of course find a way forward to what seems to be some of the hurdles to our progress as a country. I'm with Mr. Apollo Munyinda, who is the head of the communications unit at the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development. Remember to get to follow us on Twitter at Smart24TV and my personal handle at Anthony Sebale, and of course comment in the YouTube comment section as well at Smart24TV Live. Now, Mr. Apollo, as we of course get into the evening of the show, we wouldn't want to leave without of course getting to inform Ugandans about what can be done, especially in the current business environment. Let's, for example, just take an example at the traders in Chikubo or the traders in Kampala. There's been a lot of changes. The rental taxes have come up, and many pressures on them have risen as well. And they are wondering what they can do to survive in this economy. Like, you know, what the term has been, economy fuse economy, right? Everyone is talking about it. But we have to move on because we are not at our worst position, and we are not the worst in the world, but we're not where we want to be as well. I was looking at Turkey and the devastation they were going through after the earthquake, and I was saying, if this happened to Uganda, God forbid, I don't know what would happen, because then we would actually have a lot to deal with on top of the current problems we are having. But nevertheless, what is the advice you can give to the business people, to the people who are actually making money out there, people who are looking up different sources of income in the current economic environment?
Thank you very much, Anthony. This is time to take advantage of the environment, the economic environment in its current form. For the business people, for instance, URA may not increase the taxes, like we said, because we want them to get out of the situation, the economic shock that has devastated the whole world. But also, people should take advantage of the available resources, the money that government is putting in these programs. Government is putting money in microfinance. People can access money through circles. People can access money through UDB, those who have at that level. People can work with UDC to support them in their businesses. But above all, people should be mindful of the economic situation. It's not like you see how resources are being managed in the government, frugality. Even the private sector, people should be frugal in terms of managing their resources. So what I would advise Ugandans is that they should take advantage of the opportunities in the government. Right now, in the area of agriculture, people can invest in value addition. Government is putting resources in value addition, and those activities really that will create wealth for this country and create jobs. So I would advise people who are in business, people who are in Kikubo, take advantage of this income stream, this cheap affordable resources, affordable money. Let them get so that they can make sure that their businesses grow stronger, so that we can get revenue in the future. And of course, we also encourage those people who are in the informal sector to register. Because if you are in the informal sector, you cannot access some of these finances. You need to have, for instance, books of accounts. You need to register with the Uganda Registration Service Bureau. You need to be known. as a Ugandan person who is doing business to get some of these benefits. So it is important to formalize. You know, we have the challenge of informality. It's a big challenge in this country. Many people don't want to formalize because some of them think once they formalize, then they will be forced to pay taxes. So it is important that people formalize and get opportunities to access some of this affordable financing so that they can invest in their projects and so that they can grow and the economy grows, so that they can create employment and they can also pay taxes. So this is the time to rethink, to go, they should be keen. People should follow what the Ministry of Finance is prioritizing in a budget and look for those opportunities where they can tap in. For instance, we have money in under the Small Business Recovery Fund. That money has been in the Bank of Uganda for some time. We have sorted, Bank of Uganda has, working with Ministry of Finance, has revised the conditionalities to ensure that more people can access this money.
It's entirely for small businesses.
Small business. People initially were supposed to borrow up to 100 million, but I think the threshold has a bit gone up and relaxed some of the conditionalities. People can access this money. It's there to help them really revamp their businesses. For those who are in agriculture, we have a fund in the Bank of Uganda, the Agricultural Credit Fund. They can also access affordable financing, plus other funding streams, as I've mentioned earlier. So there are opportunities that people should tap into, and they should be keen, should be forward-looking. People should be prioritize these interventions so that they can be part of developing the economy of Uganda. Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. As also, when we talk about the sectors, oil and gas has come up. I don't know what is in store for our local people. Like you said, most of our businesses are informal. But when we talk about oil and gas, it's a very huge sector. It trickles down to people dealing in, for example, the cosmetics industry. There are people dealing in the other subsidiary fuel products and other sectors like the infrastructure development that come along with oil and gas. How can people also prepare themselves in this angle? Because we understand now the oil is being drilled and we've started the journey finally. But how can the local person also get to tap into these opportunities that the oil and gas sector presents?
Thank you. Fortunately, this is yet another opportunity for Ugandans, and really the oil and gas provides a lot of opportunities for Ugandans. For example, we are looking at people. If you go to, for instance, the people who are in Kikuve, where these, if you look at where we are drilling our oil, if you look at the kind of people who have come there, these people need food. They need everything. People can rear chicken, people need eggs, they need pineapples, they need mangoes, they need oranges, they need everything. So it's an opportunity for the local people at that point to tap into this huge business of oil and gas in the country. So at all levels, right from the farmer down in Kikuve, they have a chance to be part of this economy of oil and gas. When you look at this level of people who are who have business, who are in, for instance, who can take contracts, there is a local content component in all the contracts that are going to happen, that are happening in that area. And some Ugandans are really benefiting already. Yeah, so it is another window of opportunity, and this is something that it's really going to support the economy. So we encourage all Ugandans to take advantage of this. Right now in Kigumba, there is that training institute where we're training our human resource, the welders, certified welders, recognized internationally to work in these places. So we encourage people to take advantage of these opportunities in oil and gas, because it's really going to transform our economy.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Apple. And my final question to you would be, in the next 5 years, where do you see Uganda's economy putting a lot of priority? I know we are an agricultural country, but we do have specific niches here and there in agriculture. For example, when you look at our the industries we used to have, like the cotton industries, the coffee, they have kind of come down. And recently, when Mr. Museveni, the president, His Excellency, was actually on the Africa-US summit, he mentioned how over $2 billion US dollars of coffee is actually exported from Africa. And then Germany alone exports 2.1 billion worth of coffee, yet Germany produces not even a single grain of coffee. But we, the producers, export very little in terms of value addition. So in the next 5 years, where do you see our economy specializing and getting to improve in those sectors to increase especially our export trades as well?
Oh, thank you, Anthony. We are, as you said, for instance, when you look at coffee, the Minister of Finance right now is coordinating all stakeholders. We are looking at coffee, and we are convinced as a country, beyond reasonable doubt, that we cannot get the best out of our coffee if we don't add value. So value addition is a priority. Somebody has done a calculation and say if we process only 2 million bags of coffee, we could earn more than $4.8 billion, for instance. If we process, we are producing about 8 million bags of coffee, but we are getting about $800 million. So we are saying this is the way to go. And really, government is now working together with all stakeholders to ensure that we come up with a very clear roadmap on how, for instance, we manage the coffee sector in the country. It's one of those sectors that we think if we put a lot of effort and cohesion, we can benefit more than we are doing now. Because you can imagine these coffee beans, we are biggest exporter in Africa, but we are earning peanuts. So, and of course, the debates around value addition in this country. As government, we think this is not helpful. We think the only way forward is for this country to go value addition. This is the only way we are going to get the best out of our coffee. But of course, when you look at the recently, the Ministry of Finance launched the second national private sector strategy. And one of the focus areas in that is the area-based community development. So the country has been zoned. We have 14 commodities, including coffee, other places have cassava, cocoa, you see. We are looking at a whole value chain. If this country prioritizes through that ABCD model, and every country prioritizes, if your area is Matoke, maybe Buganda, and you do a whole value chain, we think this is one of the ways that's going to help us really improve not only the agriculture sector, but also grow the economy and get more export finished products and get more money and get more foreign exchange. So, and also in this strategy, we now have at the Ministry of Finance. Last year we launched what we call the BDS, Business Services Development. So we are looking at supporting these people in the informal sector to grow through that framework, the BDS framework. We want this private, for instance, if they can formalize as a first process, they can be trained and then supported to be competitive and then invest in whatever they are doing. It is one of the ways to support them, and this program has already started and it's going to be put in the national strategy. All sectors must have a BDS outlook in their budgets to support these small people so that they can be competitive, they can formalize, and then they can be supported to invest in the productive areas of the economy. Yes.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. Apollo, for those submissions and the insights you've shared.
Thank you so much.
Wow. I'm looking forward to another meeting, probably perhaps around June, before the national budget is read, and more, of course, coming in from the Ministry of Finance. Like you said, I think you're the ministry that never sleeps.
We never sleep, indeed.
Absolutely.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you so much. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you so much for staying tuned at Smart 24 TV. We've been talking the state of the economy with Mr. Mugnida, who is the head of the communications unit at the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development. Yes, we have not fully recovered, and we are still facing a lot of the effects from the shocks from the pandemic, as well as other external factors like the Russia-Ukrainian war. But still we are surviving, and we must remain frugal. Like he said, one of the words that stood out in his discussion was frugality. It's not only for government and its departments and ministries, but also for your household, for your family. You must live within your means. That's, I think, what was the takeaway point from today's discussion. We are not yet fully open, so don't presume that things are back to normal yet. You must stay frugal and vigilant in your expenditure to be able to survive, but also to thrive. And my name is Anthony. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'll catch you the next time, same place, same time, as we discuss more of what affects business here in Uganda. This is Smart 24 TV. There's a lot more to come. And of course, we focus on business 24 hours, 7 days a week. Thank you so much. I'll catch you next time, and have a good night for now. Bye.